Hello, and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Bark's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of, I don't want to say it, but April 20th, 2016. You can deduce what that date is by yourself. But let me get right into the pull list because I got a decent amount of books this week. So this is a big week for me. Not a lot of big titles, but just a lot of titles that I'm taking home. So I normally tend to have one of these weeks a month where it's over 10 titles. I think this week it's like 15 something. But let's get into it. First up, Aquaman number 51. It's been really good. Been enjoying it. We'll see where Aquaman goes with the rebirth stuff that's going to happen soon-ish. But yeah, really enjoying it. I can't wait to see kind of how it ends. The New 52 run ends and we go into the rebirth stuff. Next up, we have Bloodshot Reborn number 12. And no, I'm not going to cover that up because, well, it is funny if I cover that up. But it's the Analog Man story. This is issue 12. I'm not caught up with Bloodshot. It has been really good from what I've read. But again, I need to get caught up, and it's one of the titles I need is in the short box of stuff that needs to get caught up on. Next up is Disney Princess number 2. I get this from my daughter, and I haven't read it to her yet or read it with her yet. Probably because it's probably one of the crappiest ways you can put a comic book together. And you see how it's nice like this, and then you open it up, and you got to turn it. And it's like this. Yeah, not the biggest fan when they do this. It's definitely something that hinders me wanting to keep getting that book. But my daughter loves Disney princesses, so I'm going to stick with it for now. Next up, we have Divinity 2, number 1. The first installment of this was awesome. I enjoyed it, so I can't wait to get into the second volume of Divinity. Or Divinity, I should say. Next up, we have Dr. Fate number 11. Really solid title. Not for everybody, but it's definitely one that I'm enjoying reading. It's good overall, but yeah, it's definitely something that's not up everybody's alley. Next up, we have East of West number 25. Not caught up on East of West, so hopefully I can get through that, but I'm 20 some odd issues in. It's good stuff. So next up, we have the delayed but finally here Flash number 50. Looking forward to seeing the big 50 issue from Flash. Most of the 50 issues I've read from the DC stuff have been great. Caught up, so we'll see where it goes. But again, all of the DC stuff is getting that rebirthed action going on, so we're kind of winding down with the series as a whole. So next up, we have Harley's Little Black Book number 3, and it's featuring Zatanna. Should be awesome. The first two were awesome. That one's gonna be awesome. Next up is one of those weird books that's kind of, it's not a comic, but it deals with comics, and that's the Lazarus Source Book of Volume 1. Carlisle is the family that it's going into, so I'll probably read through that. I got caught up with Lazarus this week. It's still great stuff from Rucka. So yeah, just gonna keep going with it. Next up is Legends of Tomorrow number 2. The first issue was pretty damn good, so I'm looking forward to issue 2. The Sugar and Spice story arc, I think, or Sugar and Spike was the only one that was kind of but overall, good stuff in there if you're looking for some offbeat characters, especially DC characters that are pretty cool overall. Next up is Lucifer number 5. I'm caught up on this, but I am not caught up on the TV show. But that has nothing to do with the TV show. So, yeah. Next up, we have Martian Manhunter number 11. And it looks like Mr. Nibbles, I can't remember his name, but is not alive anymore. That's sad. He was a pretty cool character. So we'll see. Next up is a really awesome title from DC that has been a great miniseries so far, and that's Poison Ivy, Cycle of Life and Death. Catwoman makes an appearance in this issue, but just overall, the Poison Ivy book has been great. We're sold out of it at the shop, except I think for like a couple copies of like issue 2 maybe, or 3, but just really, really great stuff. If you can't find it in single issue format, just wait for that trade. It's gonna be it's definitely a good read. Next up is Robin, Son of Batman, number 11. This is probably one of the funniest taglines I've heard in a while. It says, "Gorilla in the midst of getting his butt kicked." Pretty much sounds like Damian Wayne. Robin, Son of Batman's been okay with the Robin War stuff. It kind of got a little jarred in the flow of the book, so I'm curious to see how it kind of finishes out before Rebirth. Next up, we have Teen Titans Go, number 15. Again, it's a kid's book. It's what it is. I read it. It's okay. Next up is Exo Manowar, number 46. I am so behind on Exo Manowar, and I'm so disappointed in myself for not reading it. It's been so good. I need to get caught up, but it's definitely one of those things that's in the list. Next up is my graphic novel that I picked up. I picked up the hardcover of Justice League: The Darkseid War, Power of the Gods. This collects all those one-shots that DC put out for the Darkseid War. I'm a little disappointed in the size of it for the price. It's $29.99, and it's not that thick. And DC's been pretty good about their prices on graphic novels and hardcovers and stuff, and trades. But this, I kind of feel like, it's a little too much. So that's it. That's all the stuff I got. No special orders this week, thank God. But that means I'm probably gonna have a week where you're gonna see a ton of garbage, just shit that I got. But let's get into the read list, because that's there's more titles to go on that one. First up is The Astonishing Ant-Man, number 7. Nick Spencer's hitting it out of the park with that book. It's just amazing. Really, really good stuff. Good, solid story. Just overall, really good, fresh take on just a superhero in general. So, next up from Aftershock, we have Black Eyed Kids, or BEK. Number 1. The Aftershock stuff I've been reading has been pretty good, so I'm checking out the number 1s as I go, and we'll see where that goes. Next up, we have either Department H or Depth. Not sure. This is issue 1. We'll see. There's a bunch of just issue 1s recently, so I'm trying to at least grab them and check them out. Know nothing about it, because I like to go in not knowing nothing. I don't even know if that came out right. Next up, Extraordinary X-Men number 9. We continue with the Apocalypse Wars. Overall, I've been enjoying the Apocalypse Wars stuff. Extraordinary X-Men has just been a great book. Jeff Lemire's doing an awesome job on it. Really bringing kind of a love of X-Men back to the books, which is not what I can say for all new X-Men, because that one's off my list. Next up, we have Haunted Mansion number 2. I'm curious to see where it goes with that, but I've been enjoying it overall. That little bang you heard was my wife trying to quietly open the sliding door to the bathroom to the hallway over here so she could get something. Yeah. And now she's apologizing. I don't know why. Next up, we have Huck number 6. Read the first 5. Enjoying it. Yes, I am enjoying a Mark Millar book. Sometimes he does okay, but we'll see how he hits that ending. Next up is a new number 1 from Boom. This is Joyride, number 1 of 4. Don't know anything about it. Figured it was a number 1. I'll check it out, and maybe it'll stay on my read list. Next up, we have the wonderful Karnak, number 3. Issues 1 and 2 were great. Issue 3 looks to be good too, so yep. Next up is the Mighty Thor, number 6. Good stuff. Art's amazing. Jason Aaron's just nailed. He's nailed male Thor, not literally, and he's just nailed the female Thor, maybe literally. I don't know, but his Thor run has been just overall a really solid book. Cannot wait to get an omnibus or a big giant collection of that stuff. Next up, we have Power Man and Iron Fist in number 3. It's still okay. I don't know if I'm completely sold on it, but it's interesting enough that I want to keep reading. So, next up we have Star Wars Obi-Wan and Anakin number 4. Surprisingly enough, I like Anakin for once. Yeah, it's just a really solid story about Obi-Wan and Anakin's adventures, while he's training to be a Jedi. So, yeah, good stuff. Next up is probably is the best Superman comic out right now, which is Superman Lois and Clark number 7. Curious to see what happens with Superman. There's some stuff going on, and especially with some stuff that's coming out this week, that kind of leads into what is going on with that, but we'll see. Next up is Wonder Woman number 51. Just the Finches are doing a great job, giving us a good solid Wonder Woman story, and I've been liking it. So that's it for the read list. There was a couple titles that I didn't pick up, and that was Action Comics 51, which is part 3 of the stuff leading up to the Rebirth. I forgot to grab Batman Superman, which is the part 2, because they have the little icon on the cover that tells you what number. Next, and then the other one was All New Hawkeye number 6. We had Hyperion number 2, and Uncanny Inhumans number 7. So that was it for the stuff on my read list. There's a couple of trades that I want to mention came out this week, and that is Batman. It has an Elseworlds Volume 1 that came out. I think it's a collection of the Elseworlds books that over the years that have come out from Batman. So I didn't actually grab it, but I'm curious, and I might pick it up. But that's definitely out. And Star Wars, the Vader Down crossover book came out. So if you are reading Star Wars, you definitely want to pick that one up. I don't know if it's all the Vader Down stuff, and so it's separate from this, like the Star Wars and the Vader Down stuff is all put together in this, or if they're putting all that together in this and then including those issues in like the Star Wars or the Vader trades that are coming out. I don't know. I didn't have time to check it out, or research it. So sorry, I'm just a busy man. But definitely really good stuff. So if you wanted to check out Vader Down, that trade is out now. And the one there's 5 volumes that came out today that kind of are leading into this thing that people are thinking that the New 52 Superman is going to die. They released The Death of Superman, The Funeral for a Friend, Reign of Superman, and Return of Superman, and Doomsday volumes. All the stuff that came out around the time of The Death of Superman and after. So definitely kind of curious to see what happens with Superman going forward. Especially with Superman Rebirth, in the sense of what are we going to get out of this, because Superman has for years suffered from not being kind of up to par, up to snuff in the DC universe. So I'm always rooting for him, but I just haven't enjoyed a Superman book in a long time. So yep, that's it for my pull list this week. Thanks again for watching. You can please like, share, and subscribe. Leave comments down below, like what you're picking up, any comments, all that stuff. Hopefully, I can't remember your name, but hopefully you got that copy of Outcast. First person that came up, got it. So I shot it out to you. Hopefully you got it, and hopefully you read it and enjoyed it. If I can do that some more, I will attempt to get you guys some stuff. But yeah, we'll see. We just finished episode 257 of the Comic Conspiracy, where we talk some like TV stuff and just random stuff. And the schedule's going to be a little weird for the next. Well, it's not weird. We're pre-recording some stuff for while Ryan is gone, because he's going on his honeymoon in May. So yeah, that's going to be fun. But overall, yeah, good stuff. I'm hopefully going to be able to get a DC Rebirth preview book review up fairly soon. It's given about a week for everyone to kind of look it over and stuff like that. So I was going to go through and kind of give my 2 cents on the Rebirth thing. You can help me and my fellow conspirators on through Patreon, www.patreon.com/comicconspiracy. And for as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting, getting some food, and helping us keep reading comics and all that. So to all our Patreon backers, thank you. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Follow me on Twitter. My handle's @Brock Sager. And yeah, I'll see you next week.